Hey, what's up, folks? This is Grey here, and it is National Preparedness Month. So what I've decided to do, and I'm not going to be able to do a video for every single day of Preparedness Month, just due to my schedule and how busy I am, but I figured I would focus on a couple of different things that are, to me, quite important. And what I mean by this specifically is, let's say we're going to at least start with the 5 C's, right? The 5 C's of survival. And today we're going to be focusing on combustion, okay? So the way these videos are going to break down is I'm going to show you what's inside my fire starting kit in my bag. And folks, I will try to link all the stuff that's in this bag down below. I am a bit excessive. Sometimes I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways to start fires, but it's just better to have than not to have when needed. There's all different types of fire starting materials, devices, and all the stuff that you can use, from the super simple to something that takes a little bit more know-how and practice. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and break what's inside this bag down, and then what I'm going to do for you folks that would like to see some of the stuff being used, I'm going to go ahead and go to my little temporary fire pit where I trained little Miss Grey on how to use fire starting equipment, and we'll start some little fires in there and show you how some of this stuff works and why I carry these things in my fire starting kit. All right, so let's start off basically with what's inside this thing here and some of the reasons why I have it, right? Basically, here's the Maxpedition pack that I use for my fire starting kit. It has Velcro on the back so that I can attach it to pretty much anything. A lot of my bags have Velcro on the inside. My get home bag, my bug out bag, even my EDC bag has this Velcro on the back. Also, the zippers, the YKZ zippers, they work very well. As you can see, phenomenal pouch. Love Maxpedition stuff. That's just what I like. There's other options out there for you folks, but again, like I said, I'll link everything down in the description if you're curious about some of this gear that I use. So let's kind of open this up here and see what's actually in it. As you can see here, you can kind of see little odds and ends in here. This is kind of sticking out right now. So let's kind of break down what's in this bag and why I have some of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out this first. This is going to be my fire paste. And what I like about fire paste is there's so much inside this, it's actually insane at how long this will last you. I have several dozens tubes of these and I keep them everywhere I go. They just work well if in a wet, damp environment. This will come in super handy. It's by, I think it's called Cooligans or Cooligans, however you pronounce that word. I just know it's called fire paste, and that's what I like to use. Like I said, this can come in super handy in a pinch. You just need a match or a lighter, possibly even a ferrocerium rod, but we'll try that and test that if we can use a ferrocerium rod with this paste. But that's just one of the items there. We'll go ahead and set this off to the side here. Right about there should be fine. Let's pull out a few other things. Something common that everyone should have is a Bic lighter. Bic lighters are going to be very, very important. And you see here, this is a striking surface for matches, and I'll explain that here in a second. But come on, folks, how easy is a Bic lighter? I mean, it's just, that makes absolute sense to have a Bic lighter in your thing. You can get the cheaper lighters, but they usually fail on you or fall apart. A Bic lighter is the way to go from my perspective. So we'll set that there. Let's move on to something that I did a video on a while back, and you guys are probably familiarized with that. But this is one of my, basically, in my pocket kits, but I also keep a spare inside the bag. And the reason I do that is just because to have redundancies. As you can see here, this is a piece of paracord that keeps these two linked together. Many of you guys saw this video. Some of you folks that are new to the channel may have not. I guess I should have it this way, facing this way. Basically, duct tape can be used for several different things, as well as fire starting. There's a cord in here, or a piece of tinder in here that you could use for fire starting. Of course, the Bic lighter. And then, of course, this is basically Vaseline. Basically, these little tubes here are Vaseline inside there, just like you would use on your cotton balls. And then I stash a little piece of cotton. I don't know if I can get that on the camera there. There's a little piece of cotton on there for emergencies. This is just like a kind of a little fire starting kit that I have. But I'll put the link in the video in the description or whatnot, so you guys can see if you guys would care to watch that video as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set that there. Then I always have a redundant backup tube of, chapsticks, Vaseline, whatever you guys prefer to call it. I like to have that as well, just in case there's some other material out there that I kind of want to treat with this Vaseline product or petroleum jelly. And then we're going to bring out, okay, let's bring out some matches. These are by far my favorite matches. These are, I think they're Stormproof match. I forget the actual name of them. Like I said, I'll put a lot of this stuff down in the description. These are phenomenal. You can dip these in water. You can, God, you can do so much. The wind, they last quite some time. I mean, you see how thick they are. I mean, you can see that on the screen. These things are beast. And that's why I have this pad here to start these. And I also keep it, like I said, extra pads for these things here. Try to keep this somewhat organized here. A lot of people wonder why I have super glue. Super glue is highly flammable. Some of you folks may know that. It kind of works similar to this. This is geared towards, you know, creating fire. This isn't. But like I said, everything has several purposes. You know, like the duct tape can be used medically. So can the super glue. I just kind of like to have some kind of redundancies with things and have things that you can use for more than one option. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. All right, so moving on to something else in here. A lot of you people are probably familiarized with this, which is your cotton balls that have been soaked in Vaseline. They too take a little bit of know-how. I mean, it's not too hard to figure out. I think I had a video on this as well where I use these, but these come in very handy for just some portable tinder and whatnot. So having these as a backup source of tinder in case you can't find any tinder, all the tinder that you have is wet. Matter of fact, I've been thinking about going a little bit further with this and actually vacuum sealing this bag just to make sure that they're always in the way that I want them to be so they don't dry out and have any other issues. Who knows? Just more redundancies, right, folks? So let me go ahead and set that there. Trying to make everything nice and neat. And of course, the old ferrocerium rod. Everyone should have this. This is like the, I call it the million matches. Basically, you get a nice solid one there. I think this one's like a 1/4 inch. Love these things and have many of these things. They're just so awesome to have. And basically, usually I carry some sort of knife on me. I carry, like to say, this Mora on me where I can use this and create fire. But what about if you lose your knife? That'd be a question that some folks may ask. So if you do that, there's other things that you want to do. So let me go ahead and set this here so you guys can see that. I guess I could set that here. I have enough room on this thing here to set this down here. Just trying to keep everything on the counter so you can see everything. Think down here. Yep, here we go. I have an additional striker that comes with this. It's an Uberleben. That is an Uberleben fire rod. And again, I have this as a backup in case for some oddball reason I lose one of my knives or just want to make my life easier and have a striker in this bag. And then what else do we got here? Tinder again. I always want to have backup sources of tinder. This stuff here is pretty cool stuff. It has a shelf life, if you think about 25 years or so, and it is waterproof and a bunch of other things like that. Again, like I said, I'll put links down below. It's called Quick Survive. You tear these open and you use this for fire starting. I forget how many minutes you get out of that, but I keep several of these in all my bags, get home bags, EDC bags, bug out bags, all that stuff like that. It's just tinder on the go. They're individually sealed, they're lightweight. Why not have some redundancies to your bag? Love this stuff. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this here and move that. Yeah, that's good enough, right? And last but not least, actually I got one more of those floating around in here. I'll throw that there. And then this here, this company is a phenomenal company, folks. I will link them down below as well. They got a lot of little types of EDC gear that you can have. But there's your lens. A lot of people will have these different terms for these lenses. I'm trying to keep the light off this. But basically, it's like a magnifying glass, basically. As you can see there, it's kind of like, whoa, look how big that is. But anyways, basically it's going to hyperfocus the sun onto a piece of tinder like this. And you're going to start a fire. Or if you have some natural tinder, you know, let's say you have some willow bark, some fat wood and stuff like that. It'd be nice to have one of these lenses in there. I'll put that term on the screen for you if you want the technical term for it. I just say magnifying glass, but you know, they got all kinds of different names for things these days. But that's what I like. Solid company as well. Good company. And that's the gist of what's inside my bag there. You can see it's empty. Everything fits nice in this bag. And like I said, here's the palm of my hand, and it fits in the palm of my hand. Very simple. Some people, this is also has a waterproof protection on there. Anything Maxpedition usually has like that coating. It's, I think it's a 1000D nylon or whatnot. They make this stuff really thick, you know, to try to break, you know what I mean? They have the YKZ zippers on there for easy, smooth operation. Some people will take a coat of wax and wax their bags, also wax this seam here where the zippers go, because your weakest point for water to get in is going to be right there. So that's why I always keep my zippers down in this position. So when I have this in my bag, if the water's coming down, it's usually kind of pouring over this way and tries to keep that from there. Just little tips that I've learned over the years of being out there hiking and whatnot and getting soaked here in the Florida rain. But I'm assuming, folks, that you guys want to see how some of this stuff works. So if you want to that, stay tuned. We'll go ahead and get to the fire pit out that way and explore some of this stuff. The little fire pit that I have for little Miss Grey. But also it'll make a great point to kind of show you how some of this stuff works. All right, folks, so before we get into lighting stuff on fire, which is always fun, right? I just want to pause real quick before we get into that and explain why combustion out of the 5 C's is so important. If you're not familiar with the 5 C's, because there's 5 C's, 10 C's, and 20 C's, but we'll try to focus on the 5, and if we have time, we'll get into the others. If you're familiar with Dave Canterbury and whatnot, but they're the 5 C's of survival. Today we're focusing on combustion. Combustion starts with a C, and I want you to really take this seriously, what fire does for you, or combustion in general. Basically, you can use it to boil water, you can use it to keep warm, you can use it for light. If you, let's say, if you happen to build yourself a smoker or whatnot, you can, of course you have the fire, you stick in there to make the smoke, to preserve meats. But fire is just a very important. You can use fire for signaling, for help, and so on and so forth. So this is why I feel combustion is one of my favorites and also very important. Again, as always, if you do get any value out of this, I would appreciate the thumbs up. And if you're new here, please subscribe. All right, let's start burning some stuff. All right, so kind of let's look into the fire paste. We'll start there, since that was one of the first things I showed you on there, and show you how it works, basically. So basically, you're going to take the fire paste, and like I said, you can put like a small amount, and you're going to just run a little piece right about here. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our lighter and just light that on fire. Very nice. See how quickly it kind of just pops out there. And some of you folks may ask, as that's burning there, what happens if it's raining or something like that and there's water, coming down? So will this stand water? I don't know, will it? So it depends on how soaking it is. You can kind of see there. Then I finally got it out. Now, will it light back up? There you go. Saturated fire paste, and then it will catch fire again. All right, now, folks, is we're going to use one of these matches here. I'm going to go ahead and light her. Well, I mean, I guess I could just strike it to kind of show you the premise of me showing you how to use that lighter there. Nice hot flame there. And of course, like I said, I just used this for my striking point, but I could have used a lighter. But let's go ahead and dip this in water. See that? Comes right back up. Dipped it in water, and it's still going, folks. One more time. Comes right back. This is why some of this stuff is super important. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to use the Quick Survive. And if you can read the instructions, even if I get that there, it says light any corner of the pouch. So you're going to light the corner of this pouch here. And I know some people are like, that's plastic and stuff like that. Remember, folks, you're trying to survive. Who cares what you're burning at that point? You're trying to survive. So we're going to go ahead and light that there. And we'll see how that catches flame. Try to speed things along. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Nice, strong flame. The material in there will burn for quite some time, folks. Once that relieves that material there, you can see the tinder that's on the inside, and that's going to burn for quite some time. That's big enough to start any fire that you could possibly think of, trying to get warm in a quick instant. But you see how fast that goes. Just going to back it up a little bit so you can see the size of the flame. It's always interesting. Back it up even a little bit more because it's getting hotter. But that's there. I think they work really well, and it's nice to have them inside my kit. All right, so now we're going to start with our little cotton ball here, right? These are the Vaseline impregnated cotton balls. Of course, you want to break them apart, kind of give it a lot of surface area. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a ferrocerium rod on that. We're going to stick that right there. And I'm going to show you a couple issues where people make mistakes on using a ferrocerium rod. So there's two ways of doing it. I'm going to do it the most way that I know how to do it. And the main issue is that people do this. They use their knife and they'll knock their tinder off, and then it's in the ground and they're trying to, like, oh man, what's going on? I can't get a fire started, and so on and so forth, right? So basically, the right way to do it is you want to hold your knife there, and you want to pull this part back. So you want to hold your knife and pull this back, okay? So when you do this, you get a flame. You should get a flame on 1 to 2 pulls. If it takes you 3, 4, 5, something's wrong with your technique. You need to do something else. So again, you don't want to use your knife. You want to put this and pull down like that. You want to use this. You want to pull this, not this. Hopefully that makes sense to you folks. But if once or twice, if it takes you more than once or twice, either your technique's wrong, your tinder's too wet, something's going on, and you need to reassess what you're doing. Hey folks, so that's going to wrap up this video in regards to one of the 5 C's, which is combustion, and what's in my fire kit. Hopefully you found value in this type of content, being it's National Preparedness Month. Maybe you got some ideas of what I have in my fire kit and things that you could possibly use in yours, and how important fire is part of being prepared and having the capability to produce fire with multitude of ways and redundancies to make sure that those backups protect the backups that you already have. You know, you have A, B, C, D, E, and F. At least that's the way I like to look at it. If you got any value out of this, I'd appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, again, it'd be nice for you to subscribe. If not, I understand. Some people are just kind of perusing YouTube and just watching content. But if you learned something, I truly appreciate that, and I'm glad that you did. Other than that, I wanted to say real quick before we wrap this video up, I will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got some announcements to make, some things that you guys might want to know. We're going to do some Q&A and some fun stuff like that, so join me at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, folks. And remember, be safe out there. You're not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless.